Welcome to Court React. In today's episode, Judge Name faces Mr. Green, a defendant with a long list of charges and an even longer list of excuses. From missed court dates to claims of being unable to navigate his own city, Mr. Green tests the judge's patience at every turn. Let's see how this courtroom drama unfolds.
I want to make the record reflect that Ms. Gibson is accompanied by his mother, Miss Dallas. And Miss Dallas, I told your son to specifically come in. I look at is making sure young people, do the right thing, stay out of trouble, and if at all possible, keep their records as clean as possible. And I don't know if we took a plea in this case. Well, I think we took a plea in this case already. So he had admitted to the allegation. And I reserved the sentence, or at least the money portion of the sentence, which would have been $240, because I wanted him to take a gun safety course. Mm-hmm. And I wanted him to get a job, because I see sitting back, look like, I'm sure he's kind of a gamer, it looked like he's in his room. And I stress the fact that you're an able-bodied young man, and you should be either in school, a training program, or for a skilled trade, or you should have some kind of job. And that's what is important to me. And he comes in a month or so later, and he tells the court that he is waiting on somebody to call him. Now, I did confirm that the probation department did not have his phone number, that they couldn't call. But more importantly, it's all about being responsible.
May I?
You may.
Okay.
Come on, step up and talk into the mic so they can.
The initial paperwork that came from the court, which would have explained the class he needed to take and everything, was handed to me directly from the mail carrier. It was in my vehicle. That night, my vehicle was stolen. I have the police report in my purse if you need me to provide it to you. So he did not have access to know what class he was supposed to take and everything. Once I realized, after I got done with everything with the vehicle, I told him, I said, your court paperwork was in the vehicle. You need to call and try to catch your court date. He called. They asked him to sign into your courtroom that day. It was towards the end of the day. He could not get into your queue. So he called back the following week, because it was a Friday. He called back that Monday. They set him a new court date, which is when he just came back to see you. He does have employment. He is working for special needs people in home. He's been training. Actually, he missed one of his clients yesterday. He was supposed to see him at 9 o'clock, but he was in your courtroom on Zoom. So he is employed. Perez doesn't run the streets or anything. He does actually game, but he is monetizing that gaming. He has his own channel on Twitch and YouTube. Like he's not just doing nothing.
All right. And that's what's the most important thing to me. I got that sort of impression. He did tell me that he started working, and I'm happy about that. I got that sort of impression by him, and I want him to really understand that this is his case, this is his obligation, and that this is serious. This is not something that we, I don't want him to, I kind of felt he had a sort of a cavalier attitude about it.
Unfortunately, that's just his demeanor.
Okay, and I can respect that, but I want him to, on anything in life, you have to continue to press. If you have these obligations and you take these classes, you could have come to me and you could have said, listen, I found a gun safety class online. That's all it is. And I took this class here. I did this.
Well, Perez is not actually untrained on the weapon that he fired. He shouldn't have fired it. I'm not saying that it was. But when the gun first made it in the home.
Ms. Dallas, let's say this. your motherly instinct is always going to kick in.
Mhm.
And I respect that. And I'm glad that you're here. But that incident should not have happened. He told me the underlying thing about the happening. Just so
This case is a masterclass in courtroom chaos. Mr. Green is accused of multiple offenses, including open intoxication and violating bond conditions. When questioned, he explains that he missed court dates because mail was sent to an old address. He claims he can't attend testing because he doesn't know his way around the west side of Detroit, despite living in the city his entire life. The judge gives him ample opportunities to explain, but Mr. Green's responses include everything from complaints about his spinal injury to accusations of police brutality. The turning point comes when the judge demands he fulfill testing requirements by the next evening, despite Mr. Green's repeated protests. Frustrated but composed, the judge sets a trial date and makes it clear Mr. Green needs to comply or face the consequences.
a little stray dog. And it should not have happened. And being trained on the use of the weapon also comes with the responsibility of knowing when to use the weapon. That's one of the major parts of it as well. Because if you were completely trained and you completely understood that, we wouldn't be here right now. So this is what I was trying to express to you when we had the conversation. And if I recall correctly, I don't feel that you understood that part about what I was saying.
Man,
You may.
it was kind of hard for me to do that because I was trying to explain myself, but you raised your voice and it just made me feel like, do it even matter? Because the way you raised your voice at me yesterday, and I just thought it was kind of uncalled for. I was staying calm with you the entire time. I didn't raise my voice once, we're both grown, you're obviously more grown than me, but we should be able to have this conversation as men and, in the court of law, of course.
Well, I mean, I guess
Without
I wasn't
having
acting
to-
like a man.
Without having to raise our voice.
But the thing is that I probably do get a little excited about these things because I have a passion for young people and getting them on the right tracks. And I want to sort of stress the fact that we shouldn't go 30, 60 days or whatever it was, and then you come in and you have nothing for me. If it were me or my son, I would want you didn't get any satisfaction on the phone, come down here, make a trip, because this is 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. This is your life. And I think everybody in this room wants your record to be as clean as possible. And that's what I want. That I may get a little excited sometimes, but I'm only being excited because I want you to step up and do, and everybody in here to step up and do what's necessary to clear these matters up. And this matter particularly is is an excitable thing for me because you're dealing with weapons and the discharging of weapons in the city limits. Okay. So I'm glad to see you have I take your word. I took your word yesterday that you are working, and I don't need to see any proof of that. I'm glad to see your mom is here, but I just want you to make, well, first of all, better decisions. Secondly, I want you to take this type of stuff, particularly when it involves your freedom and when it involves your record that can follow you for the rest of your life. I want you to take this extra seriously. So that may be the reason for my excitement about it. Now, is there anything further you want to say to me?
On this matter, no.
No.
All right, all right. I appreciate you coming down. I appreciate Mom, you coming down. I hate if you had to take a day off of work for this.
I work midnights.
All right, well, I'm gonna get you out of here and get you to get your rest. I want you to go to probation. And do you have a probation officer assigned to you?
No.
Your Honor, there is one matter I would like to ask about though.
Mhm.
Is there any way that you could put in an order that the weapon be returned to me? It is illegally purchased and assigned, registered to me. They told me that it wouldn't be returned to me without your say so.
Is that what they said?
That's what the precinct told me, yes.
I don't know. I'll definitely sign any kind of order. Let me ask Mr. Fillmore, can you opine on that?
Your Honor, these situations, I feel like the rules are applied differently at each time, so I'm not exactly sure what the process is. But
because I don't know why, if the case is going to be dismissed, I don't see how they can hold your gun. But like I understand what counsel is saying.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh.
I see Ms. Harris has raised her hand. She might be able to give us some input on this.
Go ahead, Ms. Harris.
I'll yield to Ms. Roki because I think she was responding.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. You know, you read it more recently than me, I'm sure.
Probably not, but I would say I've seen cases where we have had to get an order, but
Yes.
you might need the prosecutor to sign off on that.
All right, Ms. Harris, can you put your appearance on the record, please?
Sure. Cherika Harris, P72832. Good morning, Your Honor, and good morning to your staff.
All right, good morning, good morning. So whatever if you we'll have the city attorney in here and he'll be in the room or the courtroom momentarily. You guys can have a seat, and if we need to get in order, I have no problem in returning that weapon. I just want to make sure that Mr. Gibson takes that gun safety course. All right. I think that no matter how well or proficient you are in it, I think everybody can use some re-education on that. All right. All right. So let's take a pass the matter momentarily, and we'll try to get Mr. Hill in here. Oh, he's in the room. Can you, Attorney Hill, can you put your appearance on the record, please? Yeah, and one more thing. Another thing when we talked though, back first when you first came in, that was when you mentioned you weren't working. And I told you at that time, I said, Mr. Gibson, it's jobs everywhere. Europe, what is it, 19? I'm going on 20. You got to start somewhere. And I guarantee you, if you want more, all you have to do is just continue to work and go after it and get it. And that was another thing I think you were like, I don't have any work and I'm not, at one time, at that time. And I said, no, you can go out and get a job pretty much any. And I'm glad you did that, and just continue to persevere, continue to educate yourself and move forward, and you have a whole life ahead of you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Anything you want to be, anything you want to do, it's going to be all you have to. It's going to be on you. All you have to do is continue to move forward and do it. It will be. You'll come out ahead. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and pass the matter. When Mr. Hill is in, we'll see if he has any objection to that, and we'll hear his objection if so, and then I'll make a decision, and we'll get you guys back on your way as soon as possible. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And there you have it, another wild day in court. What do you think? Was the judge too firm, or was Mr. Green out of line with his excuses? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Court Reacts for more courtroom drama. See you next time.